So guys, in case you have not known who to support or who to vote for, there's a video I'll play, a long video of Peter Obi. Please watch that video to the end. You understand why people are supporting Peter Obi, why there are massive campaign for Peter Obi, why there are massive rally for Peter Obi, even in the north. This video will open your eye and enlighten you to see the reasons why people are supporting this man called Peter Obi. Please watch to the end, and at the end, let me get your views in the comments, and please subscribe if you are new to my channel. Let's take a look at that video, guys.
Okay, let me just try this number of questions. First is, where will you concentrate? What will be the priority when you start? You are in America. What is the biggest contributor to American GDP? Huh? No. Gone. Huh?
Small business.
Small businesses, everything. The biggest contributor to Western world economy in terms of GDP is intangible assets. And those intangible assets are, number one, security. The only reason we're here, without any of you thinking how to go home, is because you're sure you'll get home. The investor, including local one, has to be alive to enjoy his profit. Number two is law and order. Because I'm sure a man was telling a plane, a man was so heavy that he was desperate, he wants to wee, but there's the plane, the pilot had put seatbelt on. And he was telling the lady, no, please. They said, no, it's actionable for me to allow you to go and use the bathroom. There's a law and order. You're sure that if you go today now and send money for somebody to buy you a house in this state, and if that money is missing, you go to court and you recover your money. In Nigeria, you can buy land, buy everything, pay, show evidence of payment, and you go to police and you become a victim. And you have your receipt, proof of payment. Police will be telling you, how did you get the money? This is what makes a society. So, what are we going to do first? Is to talk about security of life and property. Because we want the people to be safe. And to do that is not too sophisticated. Today, our police people, we have, in terms of manpower, it is very low. We have about 320,000 police personnel for a country of 200 million. Egypt, with 100 million, have over 1 million police. So you have 320, out of which about 70 are the ones that are following people like me. So if you minus them, you have 250. So you need to increase it aggressively. You saw the governor of Katsina State saying that they have only 5,000 police. And out of that 5,000, if you go to any station, only 1 out of 3 is armed. So even if there are 250,000, maybe only about 100,000 have ammunition. So you need to double it for a start. Imagine what it will be when you do that and you can secure the place. One is that in doing that, you're going to create jobs for about 250,000 to 500,000. Somebody asked me, I said, if you go to my village, there's so many young people, because you're doing this through central and state police. There's no reason why we won't have state police. All these excuses they are giving you is nonsense. We have community police if that is all we need to require. As governor, I was paying vigilantes in every village and even bought vehicles for them. I bought vehicles for every community. If you do that, it's very easy. By giving that number of people job, you've already started reducing the criminality because they have a job and they will be paid. So that's where you start. Then you bring law and order. We must have law and order. And it starts from the top. You who is the president or governor or anything must obey the law. There's no two laws for any. The law of the governor of Carolina and your own is not different. It's the same thing for everybody. It's not going to be 100 days though. I'm telling you where we're going to start. We're going to invest in education. Nigeria has very low human capital. So we're going to invest in it. And that's where we'll start. And it will be aggressive simultaneously. We're not going to leave this one and do this one. We're going to do it aggressively. On issue of customs and tariff, there's tariff all over the world. Tariff is not our problem. It's to get the custom to understand that it's not a revenue collecting agency, but a business supporting agency. By changing his mentality, there's no reason why somebody will import goods into Nigeria and it takes several days or months to clear his goods. No. The tariff is not the problem. Custom is not meant to be on the road. They are meant to be at the border. But because custom have become whatever you call it, you are the one who called it. But those things can stop if they don't see other people doing it. So you can. You ask, how am I going to move, considering move Nigeria from consumption to production? I've just given you an example. You remove the revenue. We're going to remove the revenue sharing formula, replace it with production formula. Because we're going to produce for export. You give incentive. When you stop corruption and people don't see people who are going around with huge money without a daytime job, you support export-led turnaround and everything. When you start increasing the power generation, it's been clear that for every 1,000 megawatts of electricity you add to your economy, you could increase your GDP for a developing world between 0.5% to 1%. So the more they are doing it, the more you're getting more power. The greatest power of problem of production today is power. So the more you're increasing the availability of power in facilities, in areas like Aba, the more. Your port that you said is the difficult thing, port is supposed to be a trade facilitator. If you go to Port Harcourt, for example, today Port Harcourt is a place you can develop as export port, poor people in Aba, support people in the southeast. The country is so sophisticated that you can plan it today that all your agriculture is in the north, with Kano and Kaduna as a processing center. Lagos State drives your financial sector, while the east drives your manufacturing sector. Easily, you can plan. It's a country that everywhere will be booming if you put it right. So, how did Vietnam start production? It was just leadership. Vietnam used to be the biggest rice importer. Today they export rice. There's nothing in it. It's just a question of saying this is where we want to go. And we are driving this vehicle in that direction without any excuse. There's nothing. So, and that's where you people come in. Because I said you have the resources. 3, 4 of you can stay here and say, okay, we are going to, like the Chinese did, we are going to Nigeria to start a factory that will do this, maybe this clothing we are talking, export it here, we'll sell it here. That's what you people are going to do. And we'll be receiving it. Not that you're sending money for people to eat. No. So it is something that is doable. The fourth question, which is the final one, I can't remember very well, but the fourth question was the issue of, what was the first question? Now, manufacturing. ECOWAS. Let me tell you, Africa remains the center of our foreign policy. But you can't talk about foreign policy without having strong domestic policy. That's where you start. All these things you see, they are grouping G7, G10, G20, G is economy. If your economy is good, then you're putting 1 G. If it's not good, you're G-less. It's mainly economy. What makes anybody G7 or G20? They will even invite you for meeting. It's like that. It's even as it's the same thing with even human being. If you are doing well, you are invited. If you are not doing well, nobody invites you to any place. It's simple. No invitation. You know, no invitation. Yes, so no invitation. I used to have a very rich uncle. And when you're driving with him, you will see somebody say, "No, I don't want to see. I don't want to see this person." And suddenly you see another person say, "Hey, stop that man, stop that man." So one day, uncle, you said you don't want to see this. You don't see this. This man is full of trouble. This one is, so it's same thing. If you are doing well, you are invited. If you are not doing well, nobody wants to see because you come with trouble. So all this gist is your economy. So your foreign policy must be driven by your strong domestic policy. There's nothing that made America first world, except that they have something to offer. There's no reason why you want to come here. This place can be Nigeria. Nobody wants to go there. Have you ever seen people queuing up in Afghanistan embassy? No. Even if they give it to you free, you don't want to go. So it's a simple thing. So we will do the right thing. Africa will come. There's a time we used to be peacekeeper for everywhere in Africa. That was when we were doing well. There's a time when we talk, other people shake. Now if you talk around, they tell you because they know you are weak. They say, "What are you talking like that? Who are you telling that?" Because they know you're weak. The next set of questions. So, thank you. Let me go on with the next question. Okay, let's deal with these three so that youth, because I like the youth question. Yes. Let me assure you, where is the youth? Let me assure you, my daughter, that what we're doing is about your future. We've lost it. But we don't want to bequeath you anarchy. That's why we're doing what we're doing. I'm privileged to have 2 of you in my house, and I tell them we can't bequeath them anarchy. We're going to fix it. It's going to be difficult. Don't think we're going to do everything. Some of the things you're saying here, we'll still need your brain to do it, because leading and learning is inseparable. A leader doesn't know everything. I don't know everything. Anybody who knows everything is an idiot. So I don't know everything. I learn. So as you're saying what we are going to do, we are going to put some of you with all this talent and energy in a room to tell us what to do. But I can tell you why we will be committed to health. Because three things is what develops a nation. If you go to the greatest measure of development is Human Development Index. And it's three things powers it. Life expectancy, which is health. So that's number one, because health is wealth. So we will invest in it. Two is education. We will invest in it. Three is per capita. So we want to increase it. We want it to be better. So that's it. So we'll make it work. So it's a very simple thing. We're going to invest in it, but the ideas of how we're going to pursue it, we will listen to people. Just like I do, I listen to Professor Tommy and other professors who are far more intelligent than I am. That is the only difference. If I believe in it, I'm going to pursue it, even when every other person around me is not happy with me. I'm going to say this is where, because that's what we can do that is good. So be rest assured we are committed to it. The next question talked about issue of how much politicians earn. Quite frankly, I said it when I was talking, but let me tell you, the salary of the politician is not the problem. It's even what they steal that is the problem. If they take what they paid and go home, they were safe. But what they steal compounds it. But let me even tell you, all those things will be reviewed. I've said it before, that the cost of governance is unacceptable. I've been a governor, so I know. The biggest state, I said before, is California. California is about 3.3 trillion economy, which is 8 times Nigerian economy. Yet, the governor of California cannot move around with 10 vehicles. If they see him in 5 vehicles, he will not be governor the next day. But in Nigeria, he'll be moving around with 30 vehicles. An ambulance that is not a hospital. Even what is worse, they will have office of first lady for the wife with the same number of vehicles. For somebody nobody voted for, had never campaigned, nobody knows he exists. So that when I say that times, people will say, oh, women are also entitled to their own. I say, no. I live with my wife. We are close on everybody. Nobody voted for her. So to create additional confusion for money you need to fix school is not allowed. These are things we must stop. The cost of governance in Nigeria is too high. I saw it myself. There was too much waste. They invite one person for meeting, 30 people will attend. People who have no reason to be there. Nobody invited them, they have no contribution. So all those things must stop. The German Chancellor came to Nigeria. He came on Lufthansa. British people, they come on British Airways. Germany is a 3.8 trillion economy. Britain, 3.1. Then somebody who is about 10% of their GDP will carry plane to go and visit them. Somebody who is going to beg, somebody who is going to borrow. That's the problem of Nigeria. You know? Somebody who is a refugee wants to wear a designer thing. It's the problem of Nigeria. And he thinks that there's something he will come with. So these are things we must shut down. And let things happen the way it happens every other place. We're going to do it. It's not sophisticated. I think that's the two questions. What was the third one? Police. Let me tell you, police is not corrupt. Customs is not corrupt. Not hungry. They're not hungry. The person you need to deal with corruption is the leader. If the leader is not stealing, if the leader is behaving well, police, everybody around him will behave well. When I went to Anambra State to be governor, I'm in my office by 7:30 because that's the time they started work. He would tell you that the first thing, when I came out of the plane today, I said, what time is this event? He told me, I said, oh my God, why did you put it at this time? That the problem is that everywhere we've gone, we started by 7:38. So we're coming here with the same mindset. I even told him, I said, I have a slight issue. That on exercising this morning, I banged my head somewhere. That's why you saw something like that. I said, I banged my head somewhere, and I'm having headache. That I want to drink headache. So I said, but why did you, doctor was very nice. He even got me a better headache tablet. So I said to him, why am I saying so? The same civil servants that don't used to go to work early started coming to work early. We moved the education from number 26, 27 to number 1. We didn't change the teachers. It was the same teachers that was teaching when we were 27 that were teaching when we were number 1. What changed? They found out I visited every single secondary school. Every secondary school. Everybody knows that as governor of Anambra State, every secondary school senior prefect had my phone number. So they will tell you, our English teacher is not working. Commissioner, what is happening here? It changed. We returned school to the churches. Supervision changed. Everybody said, the whole thing changed. So if you have a leader, as governor of Anambra State for 8 years, you can go and ask anybody. Nobody drank a bottle of wine in government house. Anybody can tell you, because everybody says, oh, Peter, why not? I said, I'm not running a bar. If you want to drink, you go to a bar and have a drink. It's not here, it's not a bar. So as people stop, I used to have the primate of Church of Nigeria, Peter Akinola. I gave her an appointment on a Monday. I said, I'm going to be in the office by 8. So you can come 8 or 8:30. He said 8:30. And he came and he drove straight to my office. That's how I called him. And he said, my protocol officer, he said, I gave him an appointment, but I'm not here. He said, I'm here. He said, everywhere is looking quiet. Nobody's, he said he's inside, he's just there walking. He said, this is the best government house it's been. There's the editor, managing director of Sun Newspaper today, wrote a book, Meeting People in Power. Go and read it. He said how I gave him an appointment by 8 in the night. That anywhere they give them an appointment by 8, they expect to see the governor by 12. So they were coming by 9 o'clock, hoping to see me by 12. And my protocol said, the man has been waiting for you. So when he came, he said, nobody's seen the... So back to the primate. He said, nobody's there. I said, yes. Because what happened? When I started the work, every week somebody says he's coming for courtesy call. One big man or one traditional ruler, he will come. When he's going, they say, okay, you're supposed to give him something. I said, give him something for what? The man said he wants to see me. He was the one who said here he wants to see me. That he wants to pay me cousin. And he's going to say that's how they do it. I said, no. This person came on his own. We didn't invite him. He didn't offer us any service. So what are we giving him money for? What do you think we are doing here? So after some time, nobody comes. They went their way. Simple. What am I trying to say? You can't stop it. We shut down going to Enugu. When I go to Enugu, it's out of station. So when I want to go to Enugu from Oka, 1,500 people follow me. And I said, no more out of station allowance. No more this. When I say I'm going to Enugu, only me will go. Nobody wants to follow me. You know? And it stopped. I told people in Houston yesterday that my head of service, Ngozi Melifong, wrote a book which he called, wrote something he wanted to publish, which I said to him, not now, when I feel, he says, stinginess as a development strategy. Because I was quarreling with them for several years, months, about not money for this, cutting money for this. But what happened? When I came, the judges didn't have vehicle, the permanent sec didn't have vehicle, the magistrate didn't have vehicle. They were being owed pension, gratuity, everything. When I started paying it, they were like, where do you get the money? I said it was those allowances that I stopped that you're using to do this. We started painting schools, go to Anambra, we started buying computers and everything. It was the same money. And that's how we ended up what? We never borrowed 1 naira for one day, never asked anybody to do anything, and we ended up living 70-something billion when we were going. Because it's some money. We didn't print the money. What we did is to say no to this, no to that. Governor of Anambra State doesn't have to own a house in Abuja. There's no lodge in Abuja because he doesn't live in Abuja. So why is he owning a house in Abuja? You cannot have 20 vehicles going on the road when it's carrying one person. So what are you doing? So we shut down all those things. So what am I trying to say? If you tell police, in my 8 years of being governor, go and ask anybody, police does not follow me into a church. And if you come late, if you go late, you stay at the back. That's where latecomers stay. So what we've done in Nigeria that made custom and police behave like that, we have taken rascality and bad behavior as a measure of success and power. So you come to church late, you're going in front of the church when you know you're late. What do you think the people will be learning from you? You're supposed to apologize for even coming late because you are His Excellency. We're supposed to be excellent, and you came late and you're going in front. So these are things that are. Professor Tom is prof. When they called him honorable, I said they should stop calling him honorable. He said it's Professor Tom. He's qualified. He defended it. He wrote the papers to be professor. But what is in Nigeria now? One day he said Professor Peter Obi. This man did not. He didn't write any no research, no paper, nothing. He's going to be a professor. These are things we must stop. People must earn it. When they earn it, same thing, policeman will have good behavior. But if we allow him to push people because you're passing, I'm here with you people, now nobody is pushing you. So tomorrow he becomes president. Yes, people can say don't crowd him, but don't push people. They're not going to, when I go around, people say, oh, be careful. They're going to attack you. They're going, that's in America. How come? You know, anybody who is going to attack me, we're all here. Even me, I think I should be feared more from where I'm coming to the people who are here. So it's important that don't talk about police and this is not being, it's the behavior of the leaders that have made police behave like a madman, that have made custom behave like a mad person because he's watching his orga. If you give police to follow Tommy today, he will not do the same thing. He will not do it. It's not possible. So it's the people that have to train human beings to behave like human beings, or you train them to become animal, and they behave like animal. And then you turn around and say these people have bad behavior, but it's their oga that is an animal. Thank you. Today I said, congrats, that is the woman that is the, am I right? Thank God that is the woman that is the president. I know. Congrats. So let me tell you them. It's not even the percentage that is the problem, but even the 5% is stolen. So it's not the quantity. Again, let me tell you, this is where we have a problem. The budget of Nigeria is low compared to budget of other countries, Ghana, everywhere and everything. And often a time you see Nigeria say, have a seat, see Nigerian government say they have a revenue issue. The revenue to GDP is very low. If you follow Nigeria, they will tell you revenue to GDP is very low. And it's true. Our revenue to GDP is low, but our revenue to GDP is low because our productivity to population is low. When you have 35% unemployment and about 15 to 20% underemployment, so you have about 55% unemployment. When I say it, people won't understand. In a country, the ratio of those who are supposed to be productive is supposed to be 60%. It could be less, it could be more, but 60%. That means in a country like Nigeria, that is 200 million, you're supposed to have about 120 million working. I've had people where people say no, it's 95, some say it's 100, but the active working population is about 50 million. So half of your productive capacity is not producing anything. Thereby, you can't go, these people are sending money, are not paying tax, they're not paying anything. What makes the nation is when people are productive, they pay tax. You can't tax unemployed people. If I'm not doing anything, I'm begging money, they send money for me for London, you come and take it for tax. You're looking for fight now. So people are not paying tax, people are not doing, so you're not generating revenue. For revenue generation for government is that bank account. You see, after COVID, the government of America putting money into people. They're not putting that money as dash. But because they know that if the people, if they put money in their hands, there will be effective demand, local demand, which will prepare companies, which will make people earn money, which they will pay tax. And that's how government work. It's a bank account. You can't go to cash money when you have not paid anything in. So government need to reflect and make the economy work. If you make it work, you can take back. So health, what you're asking, President, we will do all those things. Medical tourism can be stopped. We have people like you. We have doctors all over the place, working and everything. What we need to do is to start seeing the value of equipping those facilities. There's no reason why here we have a budget where the health facility in Aso Rock gets more money than teaching hospital. It doesn't make sense to anybody. When Trump was sick here, they took him to a military hospital. That's where they will take other military people. That's how it works. When British Prime Minister was sick, they took him to a hospital. I, Peter, can go to, everybody can go to. In our place, they go and they equip one place and say it's an Aso Rock clinic. It will not work. It happened to me as governor. When I started being governor, I came one day, I saw about 4 doctors. They said that government has doctors. They saw nurses. They said that government has nurses with ambulance. Ambulance that is not in hospital. You're using it to carry. If you follow our governors, you see their convoy going with ambulance. Tell me, is ambulance? I said, why is ambulance? So I said, say in case you have accident, how can we plan for accident? When the Bible everything. So, and he carries one, the wife carries one, The daughter, if his daughter is around, they carries one, and that's the madness that is existing there. So these are things you must stop and equip the place properly. You know, even some of you who are doctors here who are sophisticated, I'm sure if things are working properly, the security and everything, you can even come home and help. But when there's no security, there's nothing, there's no way, nobody appreciates everything, you're here working 24 hours. So all those things can be stopped. Every other country has done it. And we can do it. This education we're talking, what you're talking about medical tourism, what happened in education is us today that is keeping Ghana universities on. Cotonou, it will shock you. I was coming back from Egypt. I saw 3 young people. They were coming back from Sudan. I said, what do you? They said they're in university in Sudan. I said, who brought us? Who brought us this law? So we're not going to Sudan to go and read. You know? So it is. So that's how bad it is. So these are why the why we are spending this sleepless night is for you to know that this thing we are doing, please take it serious, support it, because it is a life-saving thing. You know, take it that Nigeria is a life support. Every medical expert now needs attention, otherwise it will die, and if it dies, it will be more catastrophic for all of us. So let everybody come, let's save it. And if we save it, you will celebrate it. There's nothing that is not there. We have the best of everything. All we need is to have people who have conscience, to understand that public money should be used for public good. People who understand that service, winning elections, serving is grace of God. It's God that gives power. And you can't abuse the grace. Look at us now preaching in church. And then once somebody will finish this and go and start stealing public money. It is unfair. It's to get it to work. And that's why I said, go and bring all those people. By the time we go now, 2 months, the next 1 month, somebody comes here, gives somebody money, and is telling you people nonsense. You know, telling you, okay, let this man continue. It's his turn. Where do they do it? Where do they do it by turn? Have you ever seen anybody done it by turn? No, it's not turn. You come and tell people what you will do, and they believe you. And if you don't do it, you go.